Boop. Okay. I have no clue what's gonna happen. Because Amazon servers have been having issues today. So we're gonna try. We are going to try. If for nothing else. Swifty, congrats on grabbing first, and thank you for submitting your taxes. Hope you're doing well. Spicy, I saw you were already there on the YouTube side. Hope you're doing well. Just getting some administrative stuff out of the way really quick before I get too deep. But I hope everybody's doing well. Hello, hello. Hello, Emmy. Hello, Nathan. Thank you for submitting your taxes, you too. Appreciate it. That's my 201st tax submission. Holy cow. I have been taxing myself, apparently. To a decent enough degree. I'm submitting taxes only once per stream. So, like, I feel like I'm being more than fair to everybody. Also, ads will be starting on the Twitch side here in a minute. That'll delay them for the rest of the hour. So I know they suck, but just throwing that out there for everybody. Oh, good, the king doesn't commit tax evasion. I know. I'm one of the few good ones, you know? We also gotta turn on some music here. We'll put it like at 10%. Bump this up to 60 maybe. We'll go with that. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, like, I've been building updates for the last, I don't know, maybe month or two. And we're getting actually really close to finishing this series. We are on 1.14 today, and I may even build 1.15 since it's a smaller update. It is the Buzzy Bees update 1.15. So we're going to be doing 1.14 Village and Pillage, 1.15 Buzzy Bees, and there's a very, very, very tiny chance that we do some of 1.16, the Nether update. Catch you guys up to speed. We have done little updates going from pre-classic all the way up through in-dev and inf-dev, alphas and betas, and even the full releases of 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, so on and so forth. And it has been a lovely time. It's also led to some things that we've kind of rediscovered over time, where, like, oh yeah, the desert temple used to be made with wool instead of clay, or hardened clay, because hardened clay didn't exist yet. There's interesting little things like that that we've kind of found as we've been going through. And it's been really cool to see this, in my opinion. Obviously, there's still a lot to do. Like, we still need to put in a woodland mansion. Over here, this is the World of Color update. I still gotta do something special there. And there's some other things here with World Edit that I need to do, because this kind of sucks. But we'll get there when we get there, you know? I could, like, try to clone it, but Minecraft clone tool sucks. I don't like the clone tool. So far, so good. We've been kind of slowly but surely making our way through it all, and I'm happy with how far we've gotten. There is one thing we are missing here. I want to go ahead and make sure we have a chest over here with all the new items that were added within the 1.13 update aquatic. That'll all be put in, then we can do 1.14. But first, I want to say hello to everybody, so let me go through here and check. Swifty, congrats on grabbing first. Thank you for doing your taxes. Nathan, good to see you. Emmy, good to see you as well. I'm shocked I'm not banned after Wesley's stream. I won't lie, there was like a very good chance that I probably would have, but having had a night to sleep on it, I decided against it. Take that for what you will. Budget taxes. I really need to add a YouTube command to it. It's on my to-do list. I have like a to-do list every month, and I've assigned priorities. I've started putting like little asterisks next to everything. If it's got 3 asterisks, then it's the most important thing of that category. I think this one has 2. I only allow a couple of categories to have 2 stars next to them, and that's one of them is update streamer bot to do more on the YouTube side, especially with things like tax submissions or first, allowing people to claim those so that you guys at least have some form of interactivity as well. It's just a matter of time, honestly. Oh, good, the king doesn't commit tax evasion, else we could learn a thing or two. Yeah, bees, the bees. Do you see Minecraft getting a 2.0 / sequel? In all honesty, the only reason they would ever do it is to make money. It would transition the barrier between Java and Bedrock, and then it would have a better money-making scheme in mind, because that's the way new games are built. Games aren't built to make money on sale, they're built to make money after the sale. Even though we sell them for $90, for some reason, I don't know. I don't know why, but we, for some reason, can get away with charging $90 per copy of Call of Duty, and yet we're still going to sell you a battle pass every year or every season, which is probably like 60 days at most. It's very stupid. It's very, very stupid. I don't foresee Minecraft having a successful 2.0 release. It would be shooting themselves in the foot. They make enough money off of merchandising. They're going to be making a lot of money off of licensing. Netflix, they're putting out a show. It's an animated show for Minecraft. Minecraft 2 will probably make a decent amount of money. The stuffed animals, the plushes. I got a Steve plush back there. That stuff sells very, very well. Minecraft shirts sell well. My friend Gus, he had one that he bought when he went to TwitchCon. There is plenty. Is that a dead pixel? No. Okay. Minecraft is a cash cow right now. If they do anything to shake up that, they immediately shoot themselves in the foot. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed that they got rid of Minecraft Earth. Even though I didn't play it very much, people bought a lot of merchandise based off of that. The Muddy Pig, don't know how many of you guys remember that? That was a very popular item that a lot of people wanted, and I think they even made stuffed animals variants of it later on, and those sold very, very well. Let's see. What are you doing? I'm building every single Minecraft update, so we have right here in front of us my representation of Update Aquatic, which had fish mobs, seagrass, sea pickles, kelp, all those sorts of things. It's awesome. It's some good stuff. We'll be building 1.14, the Village and Pillage update, a little bit soon. Also, hello, Sidhu. Welcome on in. I noticed you. Hello. Hope you're doing well. To be fair, I stated to him, and now here that I have no problem with it. I just can't let people think I backed down. Fair enough. I don't think she hates you. She doesn't, like, actively think about you. I know that may hurt or sting to hear, but I promise you, she doesn't, like, resent you in every single breath of her life. Dude, I feel like with vibrant visuals and how much it visually changes the game, that would be a good time to release it as 2.0. Yeah, I would say Minecraft will never get a sequel, but they may update the title number to 2.0. And you may be correct with that, actually. I could foresee them after they're done with the game drops system. You guys may not realize this. Game drops is not the end game here, okay? Game drops were designed to be small updates to keep people satisfied while they work on big things in the background. The game drops are built to make the overworld feel a lot more alive. It's built to address issues. It's built to be short-term satisfaction, because that's the generation we live with right now. We're all about instant gratification. So the second an update is announced, we want it in our hands right then and there. So this is Mojang's way to fix that. Also, on top of that, um, sorry, I'm reading your stuff now, Spicy, and it's confusing me. On top of that, there's something cooking in the background. I don't know what, but I could foresee it being big enough to warrant a 2.0. What that could be, I don't know. That may be a good YouTube video idea. I don't know, to be 100% certain, Spicy, but yeah. I got a light up sword and Fox, so yeah, they make money off of us. Oh, absolutely. I have not bought very much Minecraft merchandise. Technically speaking, I didn't even buy this Steve. That was a gift. But, you know, I treasure him every single day. I'm trying to think, is there any other Minecraft things that I own? I technically own several copies of the game on console editions. I own 360, Xbox One, and the Wii U editions. And then I've owned several editions on the computer as well. I bought Windows 10 and Java when they were first bundled together. Not the second or third time, I think, that they ran that deal. But I do like having the merch. Honestly, I could see myself when I'm much older or have a space for it. I would love to have every single Minecraft plush. I think that would be awesome. It would be great. So that's like a lifelong goal for me right there. Also, there's like cool torches that hang up on the wall. Those are really cool. I'd like one of those. You're old enough to remember Minecraft Earth? Wow, you are old? What do you mean? What do you mean I'm old? Minecraft Earth came out 2014, 2015. 2015 was a decade ago. That's crazy. That is actually wild. Hello, communists. Welcome on in. Oddly Fox, I am not giving anybody kisses. These lips are for me. Also, I had no clue Kit and Wesley knew each other. Oh, yeah. Big Pile of Wesley's a cool dude. He is a really, really, really cool dude. Swifty's a baby for sure. I rest my case. I don't think she does or did, but you know, she doesn't like my portrayal, which is fair. Yeah. My bad, Unc. Okay, crazy. I just bought a reversion of the game, no merch. That's fair. That's fair. Do you support communism? No. It's never done right. That's the problem with communism. It's great in theory and concept, but it is bad in practice. If you can name me one successful communist country that has actually happy citizens, I will maybe entertain a debate about that. But don't go saying Russia or China because neither of them are happy. They're paid to be happy. Well, they're paid. They're paid in the sense that they get to live and they still get their rations from their government. It's not a good system, though. It's not a good system. See, Oddly Fox, I 3D printed a Minecraft torch. Nice. That's awesome. I need to 3D print some more stuff. I am happy. Where are you from? Where are you from, and is it actually communism? 2015 was a decade ago. That can't be right. It is. I was homeschooled in 2015, if I remember right. Dang. Okay. I've never even heard of that country, communist. I will Google it, and I swear if it's not even a real country, and you get me to Google something sus, there will be a ban. That is a real country. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Where? Oh, it's an unrecognized state. I see. Okay. Gotcha. That would be why I probably haven't heard of it, but I do want to look into this. Control F. Communism. Okay, it's in reference to wherever 101 is. Okay. So that would be right here. Let's see. Over whether elections in Transnistria are free and fair. The political regime has been described as one super presidentialism before 2011 constitutional reform. During the 2006 presidential election, the registration of opposition candidate Andrei Sofinov was delayed until a few days before the vote so that he had a little time to conduct an election campaign. Some sources consider election results suspect. In 2001, this sounds like essentially the government is usurping its power so that you have no democracy. That's not good. That's not good. You call it an election? An election is the way. It's how you keep the scales from tipping. The second you suspend elections, or the second that people, the government can use their power to withhold people from elections or skew the results of an election, is the second that you start to lose your power as a citizen. If you vote for a separate leader, they fine you thousands. That's not a happy country. That is not a happy country. You can't say that you support communism and that you're happy and then say, if I vote for a separate leader, then I get fined $1,000. Like, that is not happiness, my guy. See, I have the right to say whatever I want here in my country, and the only thing that happens to me is maybe some people yell at me or say that their feelings were hurt that I don't agree with them. You know, that's happiness to me. I love our supreme leader. That's not good. That feels like you're being held at gunpoint because you have to say that, you know? That's some North Korea level stuff. Yusuf, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Where is it located? I didn't really look, but it looked like it was kind of near Russia. Up in like the Eurasia area, possibly. I can double check it. It's in Eastern Europe. Where is located on a map? Okay. It is right there between Ukraine, Moldova. It's like right in between those two places, I guess. Yeah. So it's a very, very thin strip, and I apparently it's not even officially recognized. I don't know. I looked it up. Okay, gotcha. You play Minecraft? I think I should try. Minecraft is great. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Where are you from? I'm from the United States. Or if you have a hated opinion, then people abuse their right to bear arms. You do not have a right to kill people. You have a right to own a weapon, and you have a right to self-defense, but you do not have a right to use that weapon to just outright murder people. You know, that's the thing. A lot of people get confused. Your right to bear arms is not a license to kill. It is also still ultimately you doing the killing, not the weapon that is in your possession. Just like when you hit somebody with your car, ultimately you are the one that killed them, not the car. It is a similar deal there. They abuse that right to bear weapons. So I'm saying, yeah. People love to think that they aren't. There are bad guys on every political party, but they both balance each other out because neither is 100% correct, In fact, the more you lean into either party, the more dangerous your ideals are. That is the truth. There is a happy medium in the middle. It's not the perfect paradise everybody wants, but I think it is the closest to perfect that we can get, because it stops absolute government control and absolute anarchy, and that's the problem with both parties if you lean either way too much. The thing is, once you lean one way so far, you end up on the other side, actually. Very interestingly enough. You go on to either extreme so much, you actually end up believing the same exact thing. It's very interesting. I think Minecraft is a good game. Minecraft is a great game. I love it. You can think whatever you want, communist. I'm not here to tell you what you need to believe. But, somebody that calls themselves a supreme leader usually isn't a good person. In fact, they usually have some amount of insecurity because they feel the need to call themselves a supreme leader. That's not... There is no such thing as a good person that calls themselves a supreme leader. I'm sorry. How dare you? How dare me? I know, how dare me? See, that's the cool thing about my rights as an American citizen. I can criticize any world leader I want, and nobody can do a thing about it. That being said, I do have another self-proclaimed supreme leader somewhere. Where is... he's probably in my closet right now, but I have a big old Kim Jong-un banner, and it says "Live, Laugh, and Love" while there's a little rocket going off in the background. I love it so much. Never insult our one and only father, supreme leader. You're American? I am American, stupid. Oh, I'm the stupid one. Okay. You're also probably a child, also in America, so, you know, you do you, man. I don't know what that says about me, because I call myself a bad director. No, you're good. You are very humble. That's where you're at. Sometimes humility is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. You go too far in one direction, it actually ends up being harmful. I'm a firm believer that, you know, there's a such thing as being too humble. There's also such thing as being not humble enough. There's a sweet spot somewhere in the middle. I'm looking for... When did they add the ability to place chests right next to each other? Because that was like a really big deal, and I want to say it was around 1.13. Minecraft chest. Boop. History. That's InfDev, Alpha, Java. Okay, Java 1.13. Chests and trap chests can now be put directly next to their large variants instead of requiring one block between them. Yes. Okay, it was 1.13. There we go. Okay. So that means I can now do things like this. They're abusing their tools, I should say. Yes. Yeah, that would be a great way to phrase it. I just want to make sure I'm caught up on everything. I want to say something that'll really trigger you, communist. Jesus is king. Just why not? Why not bury him? Why not? Really just rile up the crowd. Pumpkins, debug stick. Wood. We need spruce. Spruce buttons, spruce pressure plates, and trapdoors. Then birch. I can't see birch because it's really bright. Boop. That jungle? think that's jungle next. Yeah. I forgot to do this on Friday, so we're doing it today. Did I tell you about Spicy Animations and Spicy Productions? Basically my animation studio and game studio. I'm hyped for 2026. Dang, dude. Okay. That's awesome. That's really cool. I hope that turns out well for you. You did not tell me about it, so this is the first I'm hearing. That's really cool. What I guess, like, how do I phrase this? Like, what kind of games and animation are you doing, if you don't mind me asking? We're doing all the strip logs. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Bubble columns. Those were added as a block, apparently, at one point in time, but I don't think you can obtain them through the give command. So, bubbles, 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 bubbles. Ellently, thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. I suppose I don't really have a good item to represent bubbles with, do I? Skulk Vein. We'll go with that. Boop. Bubble column. That is not how you spell bubble. Wow. Bubble column. Boop. Seagrass. And then kelp block. Or dried kelp block, sorry. Prismarine stairs. There we go. We are working on a 2D, 2.5D fighter first, as far as the game studio goes, and then for the animation studio, we are working on Behind the Mix, which is loosely based on my experiences, but also kind of not. That's cool. Our show called Behind the Mix gets its first episode next Sunday, and then the game itself, we're shooting for December of 2026 release. Should go along with the Spice Pack. Okay, that's awesome. That is really, really cool, dude. You could, I don't know if you are intending for this, but you could even do a show that kind of goes into some of the lore of the 2.5D fighter game. I don't know what it's about, so I can't, you know, I can't say for certain that I know that that would be a good idea, but it may possibly be. Kind of drum up some hype. Thank you for the subscribe, Emmy. Appreciate it. I need to fix the bot so it announces that, because I can't see the event logs. And it throws me off every time I get a follow. Or a subscribe, rather. Tridents were added in this version, and loyalty 1 is right there. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. There was a lot of items added in this version. Loyalty 2 and 3. And then Riptide 2. Like that one song. Impaling. All the way up to 5? Yeah. And then channeling after that. 3, 4. Impaling. Right, that was 4. Yeah. And then channeling. Okay. Turtles. Turtle eggs. And then the scutes. I never make a shelmet. Do they actually? Hang on. They never added that as a thing. Dang. Shelmet would have been like perfect name for it. I'm just saying. Turtle Master in all the varieties. So Turtle Master. That one, and that one, and that one. Alright. Bunch of items. The 2.5D fighter, it basically doesn't have a story mode, but it does have some, quote, meme characters, or some characters that are seen in the shell, because it's within the same kind of animation style, aka cell animation. Okay, gotcha. Cell shading. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That is fair. Well, I hope that goes well for you, dude. Seriously. And if you ever find that you need a possible voice actor, I'm not a great one. Oh, the Phantoms were added in 1.13. I forgot about that. Anyway, if you find yourself needing a voice actor, I'm not a great one, but I will say I sometimes can pull out some solid lines if you need any. Just throwing it out there. Salmon. Yeah, pufferfish. Oh. And then all the coral blocks as well. So we got tube. It's such a bummer that coral dies when it's out of water. Because it would be so nice. It would be so nice to use some of these blocks outside of water. Brain coral, bubble coral, fire coral, horn coral. Shoot, I'll definitely hit you up. Heck yeah, let's go. My little sisters are obsessed with this show called Miraculous. I scooped up a couple of their voice actors. Hopefully get it some hype around this from them and their friends groups. Oh, okay. Dang. That's awesome, dude. Also, Lorenzo, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Hello, hello. I don't have a buried treasure map. Slash give me buried. Okay. I need a map. On my third cup of coffee, so yes, I am doing well. I felt that. Okay, I totally get that, dude. Coffee's where it's at. Buried treasure map. Tropical fish. And then shulker. That purple? You know, it's just normal shulker. So shulkers used to exist before this, but the purple shulker box that we now know and love today was originally like the original shulker that we know and love today got turned into a purple shulker. It was a very interesting thing. But yeah, that is there. Sorry about that. Had to deal with something really quick. Boop. So mad that Maze from Gus's community called Temple Baby. I know. You're not. I know you're not. You're good, dude. Dealing with 7 sisters takes a toll on you. I bet. I only had one sister, and she was. I love my sister. She's great. But I could definitely see how 7 is a lot. 7 is a ton. Especially since they're all older than me. Oof. Dude, the odds were stacked up against you. I'm sorry. Wow. That is unfortunate. I'm sure it's a busy house all the time, though. Round egg. And then a phantom membrane. And then slow falling potions. Okay. I need, oh wait. I also need the lingering one. There we go. And then pickles. Boop. Blue ice? Was blue ice really added 1.13? I kind of forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, that was, because it was added with the icebergs and what have you. That was actually like one of the best additions to the game. Even faster boats, like who didn't need that? Conduit. What's that? Dolphin. Dolphin spawn egg. Some of these colors made no sense. And then they added the stripped logs as well within that version. Oh. Stripped spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak. And then more coral fans, coral fans. The dead coral fan, dead coral fan, dead coral fan, dead coral fan. There's also one more. Boop. Dead coral fan. The horn? Yeah, the horn. Boop. Okay. That's all of them. Alright, now I can catch up on chat. People who have only sisters must get a lot of weird looks from their guy friends and yet are good wingmen for them. Yeah, probably. Probably. Especially since they're all older than me, so it's a constant battle of you get any crushes or take me shopping. 7 sisters. Yikes, probably like having 7 not so powerful boss mini-moms. Aren't really bossy as much as they're loving and affectionate. Well, that's good. You got the better end of the deal there, I would say. It does suck, though, if you're trying to get other things done and they want to hang out with you all the time. As somebody with a family that feels like I don't hang out with them enough, apparently. My mom, she forgot that she even saw me one day. And she's like, I didn't see you at all yesterday. It's good to see you today. I'm like, Mom, I saw you at dinner. Forgot about me. You forgot about me, guys. That happened. But all of them seem to think that they don't see me hardly ever. So I kind of felt that a little bit, because it's like I do have things I need to do too, so I can't just sit down there and hope that they actually spend time with me when I'm there. It's all on their clocks. What's up, other king? Hello, Jinx. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I feel kind of bad. I put Gus in a weird position last night. Kept using TTS to get people to help him try to riz. I guess I should just try to know my place. It was funny, in my opinion. He may have not felt it was as funny as we did, but I thought it was funny. Hello, Dean. It's good to see you. Why is 2B2T offline? They're probably using AWS. That's just a guess. I don't know that to be true. But they very well could be. Forgot about legendary Regnog? I know. I don't know how she forgot about me, but she kind of did. Ideas for food. I can't decide what to eat. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Food hasn't been really all that appealing to me the last few days, so I haven't really thought about it, in all honesty. So I don't really know how to help you, unfortunately. But chat, what do you guys think Emmy should try to eat? I'm curious what chat thinks. I legitimately almost never see my family anymore. They're usually busy working during the times I'm not busy, and then when I go talk to the animators overseas, I'm busy when they aren't. Fair enough. That's fair. See, I spend a lot of time working when they're all awake. That is something I do. It's hard because I just work a lot. What else am I to do? You know? I ultimately, I like to really I really like to spend a lot of time just focusing on stream, focusing on developing my video game, focusing on making videos and all that. by the end of the day, when I'm actually tired and starting to wind down, everybody else is in bed and it's like 4 in the morning. I'm like, I guess I should probably go to bed now. And then I wake up again in a couple hours and wash, rinse, repeat. But I would have a different way, but I don't know how I would restructure it to be ideal. With all the people that I work with, that's kind of the ideal times for me to be awake. You know, for me to go to bed at 4 in the morning is 1 in the morning for my friends at, yeah, it would be like having... It would be like going to bed at 1 in the morning for my friends in the Pacific time, which is when most of them go to bed. Or 2 a.m. for the mountain timers, who I also spend a decent amount of time around, and they also have really bad sleep schedules. For me to wake up at, you know, noon, for example, you know, that's 9 o'clock for my Pacific timers, that's 10 o'clock for my mountain timers. Most of my friends are still in school to some degree. Some of them are out of it now. But they may also be working, so it's like prime time for me to get stuff done. And then I, you know, talk to them after they're done with their stuff, and it's not interrupting either of our things. You know, I would like to restructure it, though, definitely. I'd like to be waking up a little earlier and going to bed at 2 in the morning, in all honesty. It does mean I cut out a lot of people from my normal scheduling, just because it's such a tight timeline for them to fit in, but it's the life I'm in right now. What's going on? I already read that. Candy cigarette. I have no idea what that is, Spicy. I found Forge and it is OP. Like CurseForge? Is that what you're talking about? King SMP is dead, like it's pulling 20 players a week. King SMP is down. They're talking about the other King SMP, the PvP server. That's actually really good numbers in all honesty. Maybe not for King SMP, it's probably a downhill trend, but you also gotta remember with school being in session, a lot of people aren't prioritizing Minecraft anymore. They're not prioritizing making content, they're not prioritizing being super active online in general. So that has a lot to do with it. Lobster and escargot cooked in a mild white wine with a side portion of chips. Ooh. I've never had escargot or lobster for that matter. I don't think I would like it, but that actually kind of sounds good the way you described it, Nafan. Can't have wine, I'm allergic. Chips sound good though. Ooh. I've never had wine, so, but I'm sure I've definitely had dishes cooked in it. My favorite kind of dishes, though, are usually the ones with, like, a whiskey sauce. I don't drink, ever, but a sauce made out of, like, whiskey or bourbon, that's some good stuff right there. That's some really, really good stuff. Dude, I feel that so much with our 1 hour time zone difference, legitimately just subtract an hour from yours, and that's the time I go to bed. Back before I met Kit and all of that online across different time zones, I was going to bed at 9 p.m. and waking up at 7 a.m. Yes. Yes. I felt that. Before I was online, I had an actually decent sleep schedule. Like, I was staying up late, but I was also able to wake up early. But as I spent more and more time on Twitch and started making friends, forget about it. I lost control of my schedule. And I was going to bed at stupid hours, waking up at even more stupid hours. And then I felt my body start decaying. Fun fact, tomorrow's my big doctor's appointment. It's the one I've been waiting all year for, basically. So I'm excited. It's the genetics I've been trying to figure out what's wrong with me. He's like the best shot I've got right now. So I'm hyped. I get to go see him tomorrow. I don't know if he'll stream tomorrow. We'll see. I want to, but if I'm really tired, then we may not. Because if they decide to do tests, it depends on which ones he orders. But I usually get pretty drowsy after they take a lot of blood. I don't know if that's normal for people. I probably have low blood volume. That's kind of been one of my working theories. So the more they take, generally speaking, I probably will be more tired anyway. But yeah, that's, if I'm tired tomorrow, don't expect to stream. I may still do work on Twitch SMP without you guys. We'll see. I'm not banking on ending, or not streaming tomorrow, though. I do still want to. Also, we finished this, like, a couple minutes ago. I just kept yapping for some reason. Let's go over, and try to generate a village over this way. We'll be praying for sure. I appreciate that, Emmy. Thank you so much. Good luck. Hope it goes well tomorrow. Thank you, Nafan. Thank you so much. Let's see. I've had a bit of watered down wine at a random church once. That's fair. I've never had any. But I just really don't like the idea of drinking in general. No judgment to anyone who does drink. It's just not my thing. I struggle with it because the very thing it is to some degree poison. I get why people drink, but the vast majority of them usually drink to get drunk, and I don't know if I can get behind that. I'd rather, you know, tackle the feelings that I'm feeling that make me want to be drunk than to get drunk. Now, that's not everybody. Some people just drink because they like the taste. And if that's you, that's a-okay, dude. Who am I to judge? I just placed like a plains village. It placed underneath. Why? Why? I have it placed right here. You could place it right here. Why? It doesn't want to work. Why? Why? Okay. You know what? Oh, world edit. That's what I'll do. World edit. TGI, Jack Daniel's whiskey sauce is the best. It's some pretty good stuff, I agree. I don't drink, nor do I plan on it, but I can attest to that. I feel like it's partially because we're old men, though. We need more sleep now that we're ancient. That's true. And if I've got connective tissue issues, which is my current theory, however, the geneticist didn't think so, but he didn't provide any alternatives. He just kind of said, I don't think it's that, but we'll look. It could be anything, is my point. But if it is connective tissue disorders, then it's just, I need to actually take better care of myself and sleep better. Which I am trying. I do try to get in bed before 4 a.m. It's just I don't fall asleep until 4 a.m. when I do that. So it's kind of, it feels pointless. And I need to figure that out probably a little better. I don't know. Come there with documentation of research so doctors don't try to gaslight you. Luckily, the guy I'm going to really cares about EDS, Ehlers-Danlos. He's a top top guy. In terms of research and such. That being said, because he is, I don't know if he's desensitized to more mild cases. And I don't know how stuck to the rules he's going to be about it, because you know, sometimes you get up to the very prestigious guys and they're like, well, we must follow the Brighton scale, which is not good for adults. The Brighton tests are not built for adults. They're built for adolescents. And you might be going, King, you just turned 21. You're practically still adolescent. Yes, but I've also lost some of my mobility. Even 18, 16, 17, 18-year-olds have lost some of their mobility, even if they are hypermobile. At one point in time in my life, I probably could have passed that test with flying colors. But I'm at the stage now where I can't touch the floor. I can't touch my toes anymore. And it's not because of a ligament issue. It's actually due to my muscles. They aren't as stretchy as the rest of my body is. So that is like my biggest concern, is I've lost some of that mobility, and he's going to use that test to try to prove or disprove that I have anything. But I don't know. I think I can easily prove I have hypermobility. I mean, that is more than 90 degrees. So like, I could prove it there. And I can kind of almost do it on command on my vertebral column. Just turning it a certain way and it pops. They don't like it when I do that, but I don't know how else to get them to take me seriously. So it is what it is. Let's see. Good luck. Hope it goes well tomorrow. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm 90% sure I have high blood volume, and I get that way. That's probably normal. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm really not sure what's going on. My doctors can't figure it out. My hope is that tomorrow they give me some answers, because I've been having a lot of answers lately, which has been good. Possibly some paths where I can make some money, which is good. I've been waiting on that for a long time. Some possible answers in some other parts of life. And then, hopefully medically speaking, I've got some answers there as well. Yesterday was unbearable. I don't mean to be that guy, but oh my goodness, my mood swings were swinging. And they were swinging for people's heads. I was trying my best not to talk to anybody yesterday, because it was bad. Like, it doesn't excuse it, but I know it's like there's medical reasons behind it to some degree. But it was bad. I felt so bad. I just locked myself in my room for the most part and just tried to get work done, but I kept getting mad because I couldn't understand what I was doing. And I was like, I just want to do this thing for my dad so that he can have something. Because he's been asking me to help him with something, and I put it off, and I was like, I need to do it. And basically all it needs to do is it needs to go from a PDF to a Word document. However, Word won't let me open up PDFs like it lets him open PDFs. Why? I don't know, but it won't. Okay, fine. We'll throw it through a, they call it an OVR. It basically reads the PDF and it matches the words and the letters all over to a docx file. But for whatever reason, it won't read his typed words and format it properly. And then it really hated his handwriting. So that was another issue. So I got to actually go through and clean up all of these files. There's a lot of them. This isn't just a test of how much I love my dad, by the way. This is also a test of how much I want to get paid, because he's going to pay me to do this. But I'm mostly doing it because he asked me to. It helps him. So I need to do it. But I was crashing out. I was crashing out so badly, guys. I went into offline mode on Discord. That's how crashing out I was. I didn't want people to message me and say, hey, do you want to do a game right now? Hey, do you want to do this? I was like, no. We're locking it. We're doing this. I didn't do anything at all. I just sat there and seethed. And then the night before that, I spilled my water at the end of the day, and I was really mad. It was like 4 in the morning, and my cup tipped over, and I just stared at the water on the ground. I was like, it's Jover. I crashed out. I was crashing out. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's a reg thing. Yeah, no, I'm yapping. You're good, Water Ghost. How's it going? Every update is wild. Yeah, we're doing 1.14 right now. It doesn't look like it, but we are doing it. You just can't see it because we're moving at the speed of light. Trust. There's a converter that converts PDF to doc. I know. I've tried so hard. I'm gonna try again tonight. I also tried to write or draw. That was fun. I was drawing some art. I wanted to. There was a joke, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of good. I want to try that." And it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Nothing was clicking. Proportions are hard, by the way, guys. Human beings are very, very, very hard to draw. Even with references and tracings and all that, at some point in time when you're trying to tweak it from being just a direct tracing to becoming your own piece of art because you're now taking it from a pose to a person, it's really tough. Proportions suck, I know. It's awful. And like, what I'm drawing right now with it being a human being, I shouldn't have chosen to do this, but I was like, oh yeah, let's draw a female subject. Women are really hard to draw because there's a few more proportions that you have to be mindful of there than men. Otherwise, it just comes out looking really wonky or really disturbing. And I really try not to be that artist. Art is not my subject. I really want it to be. I really want to be good at art, but I'm not good at it. And I need to just accept that probably, but I won't. Anyway, I need to read. When I turned 21, I had a pina colada. Nice. Did you like it? I'm curious. Then about all the alcohol I've had. Fair enough. For 4 a.m. is crazy but relatable. Yeah. Are you going from being on the PC to being in bed, or are you limiting your blue light before? I try to limit it for the most part. At least 30 minutes. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It just depends on the night. Like the night I spilled my water, it was an hour. Most nights it's at least 30 minutes. Because once I turn off everything, I need to go to the bathroom, I need to change, I need to brush my teeth, and there is like a short window where I use my phone during that to check off all my to-do list items that I did that day. It gives me a nice little spike of dopamine. Sometimes I do that the next day. I like to go to bed happy. I don't know about you guys, but I like to go to bed happy. Good that he's well versed. As my neurologist always says, when it comes to people in medical issues, there is no by the books and not in. Yeah. I highly recommend reading before sleeping and not looking at a screen for like an hour before sleep. Absolutely. I'll be praying for you, my boy. I appreciate it, Spicy. Thank you for your mood swings. That's crazy. That is wild. You can open up PDFs in Word. When I don't know, that's what my dad said. Now bear in mind, he may not actually be opening up a PDF in in Word, but I think he is, because I don't know what else he would be doing. But he says he is, and I kind of believe him. I think I believe him. Otherwise, he's confused and he's doing something else, and I don't know what he's doing. It's like you and your dyslexia. Also, how's it going, Water Ghost? Good to see you. Portions suck. If I didn't sleep on the floor under my table, I would say screw this and throw a towel on the floor. My parents sleep in the room adjacent to the bathroom. So, okay, so here's my parents' room, right? You guys are getting a Minecraft diagram. Well, the thing is, there's a door right there, and it leads to the bathroom. And then there's, like, a hallway right here that has another door. It's one of these weird setups. And then, like, the closet is back here where the towels are. It was 4 in the morning. I wasn't about to wake up my parents to get a towel because I spilled water at 4 in the morning. So I went downstairs like any sane person would. And I got some paper towels. It wasn't a small cup of water, guys. It was one of these. It was full. I just filled it up because I need to drink one of these in the morning. Otherwise, I am drier than the Sahara. Sahara Desert. Both ways are correct, I suppose. Yeah, I had a rough night that night, but I woke up and I was a happier person because I actually didn't have to clean in the morning. That's why I hired animators to animate my stuff. Fair enough. I respect it. Ads are over. How many did you have to watch? 6? 7? Oh, you fan. You cheeky fellow. I tend to draw busts and not full figures. I respect it. I try to not do anything with the legs, even though the legs are the easiest part to draw, in my opinion. It's just less for me to have to focus on, because if you get one proportion wrong on certain spots, maybe you won't notice it. But once you have, 5 or 6 little things that are off, it starts to get really bad. So it's just like, ugh. Pina coladas are good. I don't like how drowsy alcohol makes me, though, so I just drink it virgin. That's fair. That's my thing. With the world we live in now, you can drink any alcoholic beverage virgin, and it will taste just fine. Now, the question is, like, are you there for the feeling that alcohol gives you? Are you there for the taste of it? Some people apparently like the taste of actual alcohol. I've heard it's not good from a lot of my friends, but I've also heard that some people do like it. So, I don't know. For me, though, I would probably be just fine drinking, like a bourbon that isn't alcoholic. It would be pretty good. I've never tried one, but I'd imagine it'd be pretty good considering I like sauce made from it. So, I don't know. Going to bed happy is optimal. Thank you. Thank you, Spicy. But yes, reading is a good way to go to bed as well. Hello, Coral. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for submitting your taxes. How's it going? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Imagine if he has it already converted to DocX and he's just opening that, but he doesn't have file extensions on, so it looks the same. That could be a very good point. He might actually be opening it up, and it's just displaying as an image. It's not doing an OVR conversion to make it actually into an edit friendly doc. He's probably importing the PDF as images. That's probably what he's doing. That's a very good observation, Spicy. You don't just keep your own towel in your room, because that's the shot I started using when I kept waking up my mom and dad. I really should keep keep a few towels in here, honestly, because I spill my water like once or twice a month. It's never really usually that late into the day. But it just happened to fall that way this time. I'm clumsy, and it's not. I'm gonna blame my genetics on that one, because my body gets very weak at times, and so sometimes I drop it. Sometimes I think I've raised my arm up higher than I actually have, but I didn't because my body's effort requires more out of me, and you know, you never know. You never know. And in this case, that's what I'm blaming. That's what I'm choosing to blame. You said Sahara very Canadian for a second, then you had to reboot and turn back to American very quickly. It was required. Greg said 6'7", clip it 6'7". That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I heard Elfie streaming today, and he said 6'7" a couple of times, and I really, really, really wanted to say something about it, but I decided against it. I didn't want to be that guy. I'm not going to fall into the brain rot. I'm not. I'm gonna try really hard not to. Because of allergies, I am limited to distilled alcohol, so harder, stronger drinks. Oh no. Emmy on vodka win? Once or twice a month. I'm doing it once or twice a day. Oof. Yeah, I used to be really, really bad about it, but I try to be extra careful now. Although I could see it getting worse, probably. Today was the first day that I couldn't make it through a song. Like, I had to stop in the middle of a song playing my guitar because of the joint issues. Usually it's just I don't have the strength for another song, but I had played like 3 or 4 today, and then I was like, okay, let's do Iris really quick, and then we'll do this one, and we'll do this one. And I got to about the solo of Iris, and it was just like I can't play. And that was an experience. That one was an experience. It stopped me dead in my tracks for a couple of seconds. I was like, that is a reality I'm in right now. I gotta figure out how to deal with that. My thought process right now is maybe I will just tune my strings to be a little looser. So I tune it down half a step, which is not great for my calluses, but it may go a little bit better on my joints, I think. Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know to be certain. My calluses never hurt. So I'm not really worried about that. I can afford to lose them, but losing the ability to play would really, really suck. So I'm kind of debating how I want to handle that. I'm gonna wait and see. If my geneticist can offer any insights tomorrow, then I will happily take that. Cornflower with a rose lily of... Alright. And then several different signs. Okay. Never because sleepy. I mean, that's fair. I bet. Me too, but I'm mod. I have to be professional. Here I can be a bit of a joker and get away with it. Hey, Nafan, you want to be a mod? No, you're good. It's okay. In Kit's chat, I am such a troll there. So sometimes I'm nice. Other times not so much. But sometimes I'm nice. Andesite slabs. Why did they put the slabs before the stairs? That's kind of mad. Boop, boop. And then diorite slabs and the stairs. Boop, 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 boop. Let's be real, King is too nice to be a troll. It's weird. I'm nice to an extent. But there are some things I just do not tolerate by any means. And when I hit that level, I'm not mean. But I will rage bait you so bad. There may be more than a couple of things said about your mother. There will, and I don't know why I do that. Well, I do. I will get you to say plenty of things that you're gonna regret later. Is that the best of me? No. But I don't think it's the worst I could be either. So you kind of just picked your poison, you know? It's wild. We didn't have mossy stone brick slabs until 1.14. Man. Professional equals bullying me. I didn't bully you. Yeah, totally. How would you rage bait me? You know, I don't know, Emmy. I feel like it would be really hard to rage bait you. You have a certain level of peace that you've obtained, and so it kind of makes it hard to rage bait. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, it'd be easy. I really want to hear your thought process here, Swiftu. Let's see. Watch, he's just gonna say, nah, I'm good. And then he's, you know, that's gonna be his rage bait. I can see it. I'm just saying, I do see it. I'm all ears. Ooh, rage bait. Is that what we're talking about right now? Yes. Yes, it is. You're old. Crazy. Crazy Swifto. Red sandstone. Smooth red sandstone. Minecraft Earth is older than the dinosaurs. That's wild. The most troll you'll get is a your mom joke. With that being said, the way I troll is kind of awful. You've seen it multiple times, but I'm also the same person who bought domains for 2Gs. Just copy their HTML, put my stuff on it. They're a dinosaur school daily. Say it's like it should be news. That'd be really cool, though. I know, the Flintstones taught me that. That's actually awesome. And now here comes the more trolling. Because I said the Flintstones. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, I mean, your mom joke. Sometimes I call you fatherless. That if like you really are just being an unpleasant character, I am not unknown to say that's some real fatherless behavior. You're acting this way. You need a dad. I'll marry your mom for once. I'll return with the milk so you can have a dad. It usually all loops around with itself. So yeah, that's a thing. Sure, if we're talking about my definition of father, I wish I was father. I'm sorry. That's sad. No. Don't hit me with that, man. Don't hit me with that. Aw. Man. Spicy. Don't make me sad. Banner patterns. I forgot those were added to the game. Creeper. Aw, man. His name is Fred. Sure for time. I read that. Unpleasant character bros basically calling them NPCs. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't they deserve it though? Like, I feel like they kind of deserve to be called NPCs. Skull charge thing. Suspicious stew. And then some different dyes were added to the game. So this was when white dye was added because it used to be bone meal. It was when black dye was added because that used to be ink sac. It was when brown dye was added because it used to be cocoa beans. And it was when blue dye was added because that used to be lapis. Crazy that we forget about some of those small things. Also, crossbow and all of its enchants were added to the game as well during that time. I may have to wait to paste the village in, sadly. Rag, when you are in my next stream I can't read, I'm sorry. Reg, when you are in my stream next, I want to see you try and rage bait. We'll see. I usually save it for very good occasions. Because you don't want to be that guy. But if there's an opportunity that presents itself, there's a good chance I probably will. Multi-shot. And then the pillager eggs? No. Panda. And then the pillager, then the pillager. You guys want to see the illusioner come back into the game? Like a naturally spawning illusioner slash summon illusioner. One of these guys. Slash set world spawn. So I could go into survival. Like, this is how he is. Like, it's really cool. Oh. I didn't mean to kill him that fast. Let's try that again. It's like, see? Like, he summons multiple of himself and, like, only one of them are real. Like, this is really cool. There we go. Like, wouldn't this be cool to have in, like, in vanilla with, like, the raids, maybe? I don't know. It'd be interesting. It's like, he would definitely need a rework, but I could see them incorporating him in a game drop. There we go. Just trying to get him off the edge. Let's see. My definition of father is your biological male of your existence. Now, dad, on the other hand, is the man who raised you, i.e., why I say I love my dad, but I don't like my father. That's... I could agree with that, Spicy. I definitely agree with that definition. 100%. Have you seen the guy on YouTube that acts like GTA NPC? He's really good at it. I think I may have. No, I want to know now. Fair enough. Wild. Wild spicy. What's going on here? Okay. Hey, that can wait. King, what's up, Swiftu? This was also in the Ravager. Ravager. Do you know what a vroom vroom piggy is? What? What? I'm sorry, what? I mean, you guys know how to rage bait me now. I'm thinking about it. Just like, if you just say, oh yeah, we started using this word and it's actually a word that was from my childhood and you guys hijacked the meaning, that will get me, that'll get me going. You guys heard me already go over that one, so we're not going back there. Blast furnace, smoker. What's that egg? Is that it's a cat spawn egg? Oh, because the ocelots were split during this version. Right, yes. Scaffolding. Ominous banner. Is that a jigsaw block? Yeah, it is. Jigsaw block. Lanterns. Lanterns were probably the best addition to the game in a long time, in all honesty. One of the best blocks ever. Campfires. And then we need a composter. Wandering trader. And then the llama. And then what's that? Fox? Oh yeah, the foxes. Oh, because this was when the taiga was voted. Right, yes. Leather horse armor. And then there was one more banner pattern. Is that globe? It's globe. Okay, vroom vroom piggy. I'm gonna look it up. What does this mean? I'm not seeing anything except TikToks and YouTube Shorts, so I'm gonna assume it's probably some sort of brain rot thingy. But I don't know that to be certain. That's kind of just a guess. No. There we go. All right. Did you hear about Discord's data leak? After that, I decided to make my own Discord on my website with full intended encryption, and outside of email verification, there are 0 verifications. If your stuff gets leaked, just your email, which sucks, but it isn't like your full photo ID. Yeah, I did hear about the Discord leaks. As far as I'm aware, it's unknown. There are some IDs that have been put in there, which is crazy. But as far as I'm aware, most people are safe from it. It's only due to support tickets. So people who had to actually verify that they were a certain age through support, which is a very small subsection. It doesn't make it acceptable that this happened, but I do appreciate the fact that, you know, it wasn't a general leak across the board that, you know, every profile and their ID was hit. You know, like if somebody had access to my phone number, my email, my my payment information on Discord, if all that got leaked and it was because I was just using Discord, I'd be pretty upset. The good news is it doesn't seem to be that, which is good. Like I said, it doesn't make it acceptable that it happened to a bunch of people who are doing age verification. That's actually really bad because there's a lot of people who use or had to go through age verification. Several of my own friends have had to do that. So, you know, it's unknown whether their stuff was included in the leak yet. But I do know several of my friends have had to go through that before. And, you know, it's a little nerve-wracking. But I don't necessarily entirely blame Discord when ultimately somebody else did this with nefarious purposes. It's not like Discord was just airing this out to the whole world. There was a breach there. I don't know. I don't know for certain. Right, Rag, it was the age verification side of it, yeah. I may or may not be in cahoots with someone who knows the hacker. I do know there are people who was joking around saying they were underage and then had proved through support tickets their age. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have had to do that. So, you know, the good news is, if you can look at the good side of it, very few minors are going to be hurt over this. Most of the people who had their stuff leaked are probably adults, since they had to age verify, because most minors don't have an ID for age verification. ID fraud is a big deal. My hope is that Discord will provide the users who have had their information stolen with ID fraud protection to some degree, so that these users who may be hurt by the leak are covered. I don't know if Discord is legally obligated to do that. Probably not, since it wasn't Discord's fault yet. It hasn't been declared their fault anyway. But I do hope that they do the right thing and try to help the people who are possibly going to be hurt in this to do the right thing. I may or may not be in cahoot. I already read that. My bad. Yeah. I hope they get that all sorted out, though. I really do. Leaks suck. I've had my stuff involved in leaks, potentially. There's no proof that it actually happened, but I've had it happen before where bank accounts have been, or banks have been, have had data breaches, and that includes all your private information. Now, they haven't seen anybody do anything with this private information, but they did the right thing in providing me with the tools to make sure that I'm monitored and that I will not be what's the word? I will not be hurt if somebody does get a hold of that information, because I'm insured up to like a couple mil, I think, because of that. So it's good. It's not good that that's happening in general. That's fair, but at the same time, Discord shouldn't have even asked for that in the first place, nor do I feel like people should have necessarily given it up, but they did because Discord is borderline a monopoly. I don't know. To some degree, I think Discord should. Because they are legally obligated to keep people under the age of 13 off their platform. There's very few ways to prove that somebody is over the age of 13 without having a valid ID on file. My issue is keeping the IDs on file. These companies should be deleting it. They should be required to delete that information as soon as it comes into their possession and they verify, yes, this user is over the age to use this site. We're deleting it now. It should not be held into their system for any longer than a week, in my opinion. Discord could hold on to some of the information, like putting the birthday on there, so a support agent reads it, sees what the date of birth says, puts that onto their file as a verified birth date from the agent, and then they close up the tickets and everything, and that solves it from then on. That would be how I would handle it. My guess is there's a technical reason there, but I don't know that to be certain. But there's no reason Discord should have your IDs on file. There's no reason any company should have your ID on file. The government is the only one, and they can look you up. So, yeah. We had one a couple weeks ago. Some hackers got all the info of really young kids that went to a particular nursery chain, including pictures, medical info, and parents' info, and more. That was bad. That's really bad, yeah. That's awful. I've had a lot of music leaks, and it's genuinely awful, especially for the company and PR, but it was also bad PR for asking for ID. Yeah. That's true. Now, to the people who called me crazy for saying that this data would get leaked, I would like a formal apology. I don't know. It's tough because I'm all for protecting kids. And sometimes that does mean when you suspect that a user is a kid, you need to ask for verification that they are over an age. So I don't know. I've got some strong opinions on that, and I'll go over that in a minute. But I see something here. Kaz officially wanted you to know that there's a sign in her hardcore world that says KingRegNog on it. I think that is wonderful. Is it in the arson yard? Did she change it to Pregnog? Came in for Minecraft and stayed talking for the talking. Hello, it's been your. Oh, hello. How's it going, Snow Bunny? It's good to see you. You're doing well. Is it just a random sign or is it in the arson yard? That's my big question, Swiftu. Outside of that, I knew she changed my name in the arson yard at one point. It was KingRegNog, I think is what she'd made it as, and she didn't want to fix it or something like that. And she said he would never know because I wasn't there. But I watched the VOD and I found out. I always know. Make no mistake, I always know. I think that's wonderful, lovely. It's great. I feel like it should be more on the App Store to be verifying this, especially with Android removing the sideloading ability. I don't really particularly like that idea either. It would reduce the possibility of it would reduce the issue of Water Ghost, thank you for submitting your taxes, and same to you, Orange Panda. Appreciate it. Hi, KingRegNog. Hi. How's it going, Panda? Why are you all coming here all of a sudden? Why? What's with the Pregnog? Why? Not the Pregnog. Wild. Kitrix, you're in Why? Okay. Okay. I don't have anything for you to go call her, because the only things I know to call her that it would get you guys banned. So I'm sorry. I know. This Putrix, that would be funny. That would be funny. I know something you could call her. It would probably get her everybody banned. That's the thing. It said you are due any day, bro. Congrats. Thank you, Jinx. Thank you. But I wouldn't necessarily trust Apple or Android, or Google, I guess, because they're using Play Store. I wouldn't necessarily want either of them to be in charge of that. They are more secure probably than your average company. But I think we need to have very strict legal standards there. And maybe what that is whatever you make your account through, whether that be iCloud, Google, it used to be you could do it through Outlook. I don't think you can anymore. If you sign in through Facebook, whatever you sign in through, it's on them to prove that you are over the age. And so if a site says, hey, this person isn't over the age, or we suspect that, it sends a request for that information to the authenticator that you're signing in through. So if it's through Gmail even, it's tied to that. And that's what I would probably do. Because not everybody on the internet is using a mobile device. So that would, what your solution does, it solves the mobile device issue. But if you're on like a computer, it doesn't necessarily do a great job of that. I'm really tired since my sleep schedule is wonky. How's it going for y'all? About the same here, actually. Yeah. It's good to see you, Snow Bunny. I hope you're doing. I hope your sleep gets better. That's the big one. KingRegNog, do you watch only Kit's VODs or do you watch Gus's too? Gus streams a lot longer than Kit usually, so it's easier for me to watch Kit's VODs. I would like to watch Gus's stuff. I watch some of them, especially when I know he talked about me for a little bit. I try to go find those spots. But it's easier for me to watch through Kit's VODs because they're like 4 hours at most. Gus's could be 8 hours long. Maybe even longer than that. And usually I'm catching at least half of Kit's streams, so it's easier for me to watch Kit's VODs than Gus's. Also, I'd like to know, I'm staying for KingRegNog now. I appreciate that. Have you heard the news? It said you consistently get violently pregnant. What the heck? What the heck? Okay. I don't know, oh, I'm getting a foot cramp. Don't get pregnant, kids. It leads to foot cramps. That one hurts. I gotta stand up for this one. Oh my goodness. I don't know, I just wanted to build my own platform so no one can tell me what I can and can't ask for, and I don't want to ask for IDs. That's fair. I respect that. I definitely respect that. I promise it's creative and no one's heard it except Gus. That's crazy. Okay. How does Kit Twix sound? That's funny. I mean, she is a baby. She's just like an infant, guys. She only just now turned old enough to use Twitch. I love the entirely different tones of conversation going on right now. Is that the chocolate bar Kit Kat Twix cross? Oh, Kit Kat. I've called her that before. I don't know if she likes it or I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel like the only people who should have ID is the government, which they had the info before I did, and this includes the police if I get pulled over myself. So what you're saying is for me to get you to watch my VODs, I just need to bring you up all the time. Say bandit. There we go. Don't get pregnant, at least foot cramps. I feel like that might be scientific. I don't know that to be true, though. Gus streams are like 8 hours minimum. Usually. Yeah. That one for the Discord posted. Somebody please put that in the Discord, yeah. See, the problem is if you call her Kit Kat, then she's just gonna twist that into, like, being sweet or something. She's not innocent here, guys. She's not innocent here. She's antagonized me. You guys don't understand that she is very abusive. Like, non-stop. She's just, like, I could read you an excerpt here from our DMs, probably. She's mean. She's very mean. Let me see. She was actually kind of nice there. Let me see. She was mean. I'm telling you. I'm not imagining this. Do not call her that, Spicy. That's a great way to get banned. King and Kit DMs, I need to hear this. Let's see. Yeah, now I can't find anything of her being mean. She called me pregnant man once, which isn't surprising after you guys heard that. Oh, that's a good quote from me. Okay. You're just gonna have to trust me, okay, guys? She's very mean. Like, she just doesn't leave paper trail evidence to show that she's mean. One day I'm gonna record her talking to me, like, in the mod chat. She talks down to us. She yells at us all the time. She even called me bad at Hypixel once. You know, in public, she's always praising me about my high pixel skills. That's not true, though. In private, this is what she does. She's like, you do better when you stand still the entire game. Like, you got second last time when you didn't even move. Come on. Why are you so mean to me? Why are you so mean? Okay, my foot is better. I'm gonna go with that. Who wouldn't want to be a Kit Kat bar? I know. Kit Kats are great. Best streams are like 8 hours minimum. Just about to do. I was just checking if there's a quote channel. Nice. Certainly is. Did you go to Kit's shrine to revive her? She has a shrine? This is news to me. I already am, and I'll use it on my alt. What? Okay, crazy. Source, trust me, that's indeed very reliable. You just gotta trust me, okay, guys? I need physical proof for the court case, Rag. I will endure more. I will endure more abuse if I have to. I will. Just to get the evidence to prove that she is abusive, guy. You don't believe me. The victim blaming is crazy. She's so mean though, guys. You're just gonna have to trust me on that. Let's see. Start chaos. Start chaos at your own risk, dude. That's all I can say. I need to actually lurk her stream. I'm lurking on Twitch, but I'm not lurking on YouTube, so let me fix that. Oop. Alright. Don't do anything stupid, guys. That's all I'm asking you. Don't be those guys. I either missed lore or entirely forgot who's Kit. Okay, I gotta shout her out. That's part of this. This is what she wants, guys. She was fishing for a shout out this entire time. That's what she wanted. You guys want to know Kitrix live. She's pretty cool. I mod for her. I would say it's fair to say I'm probably her biggest fan. I think that's fair. But she's really cool, genuinely. It's all fun and games. We're just trolling each other. She's like me, but like more energetic and chaotic, and a woman. So like, if you like my content, I think you'll like hers. That's stood true for most people, I think. So you know, go check her out sometime. You guys will probably enjoy her content. What level of making fun of you am I allowed in her chat? You can make as much fun of me as you want. You're allowed to. You're allowed to. It's a wild spicy. Time to go inform Kit. Oh boy. I'm gonna keep it. Genuinely curious on how long this little spurt of streams will. Oh. Big back. Okay. You make as much fun of me as you want. Got it. Thank you. Yeah. Here we go. Oh goodness, Vertigo. No, Emmy, go lay down. Go lay down. I've landed in her streams a couple times from raids and never stayed long or followed. Aw, dude, she's well worth the time. She's definitely worth the time. Okay. Boop. Alright, what am I doing? I need to start doing things again. I'm very picky who I follow and watch. I'll give her a try sometime. I appreciate that, Nathan. I don't know why you know what? I appreciate it. As a friend of hers, I do. I think she deserves to be Twitch partner. She just needs to, like... I want to phrase this in a way that portrays the situation a little more appropriately. But basically, she needs to be consistently active, and she'll have it within a couple of moments. But she's a great streamer. She's just got a really bad roll in terms of like life. When she rolled the D20, she got a nat 1, you know? That's not entirely accurate, but in terms of scheduling, her life is a nightmare on that. Work and school keep her very busy. Okay. I want to build some villages, I guess. Which, you know what? I think I can kind of do it. I don't know. Slash structure. Okay. Or slash place. Jigsaw. Village. Slash plains. Slash houses. I don't understand. I don't know how to use the rest of that command. Okay. Template. Village. Okay. Minecraft. Village. Slash plains. Medium house 1. Okay. Is this... This looks like... Did they... This looks like the... This is... How did I miss this? You guys are like just finding out a little bit of... Huh. Oh, okay. I'm going through some really deep nostalgia here. Okay, you guys may not remember this. This is essentially a structure from before Village and Pillage. I had no clue they actually brought it over after Village and Pillage because I just very rarely see it. It didn't have an interior, I believe, when it was first in the game. And of course, the stripped logs weren't in the game yet. But it looked like this, and it's really throwing me seeing it here. I'm not gonna lie. Man. Okay. That's kind of wild to me. I'm sitting here like, when did they add an interior? I know, it was... Man. Okay. Plains, we'll add like, Fisher Cottage. Okay, that generated in a really weird spot. I may have to world edit. I don't know. Forgot how slow Kit was to read her chat. She's slower than a tortoise. She... I don't know. I like to give her credit on it. She's got a lot of weird messages that she has to sort through. Like... a lot. Especially from YouTube. But there's a lot of messages that she needs to just straight up pretty much ignore because they're not useful. And outside of me, there's not a whole lot of help when it comes to moderators. So she's got to self-regulate that to a certain degree. And she also wants to get things done, which is totally fair. She doesn't really get to play outside of stream. So she's doing it for herself as much as she is everybody else. I totally get why people would get frustrated by that. But she just doesn't have quite the time that she needs in order to be able to sit back and read every single message. And she does try to. She really does. It's just... It's improbable to do that when you've got as many people as she does. It's a good problem to have. It's just... It is a little frustrating if you're hoping to have a message read. Okay, we fixed that at least. So I need to come over like a little bit more and put it... That's right here. And rotate it 180 degrees. That sort of worked. We'll go with that. Oh, why did I do that? Okay. Okay. I was sitting here. I generated weirdly to destroy the other villager house, not the double whammy. I forgot she probably doesn't recognize the fact to change my profile picture, and that one in particular is the same as my current one. She may not. She might. I don't know. Why doesn't she get more mods? Probably a personal choice in all honesty. I can't speak for her on that, because I don't know. But, it's hard. When you run a smaller, or not smaller, you run a, she runs a large community. But in that community, it's made up of a lot of younger people. And it's hard to trust young people in general with that kind of power. But it's also a defensive thing. She does not feel comfortable having people who are, you know, like 16-year-olds or under moderating, because you do see a lot of things that you really shouldn't be seeing. To be entirely honest, I don't even love that myself. Admiral is able to be a mod, and he's always been one of my mods because he's my brother. So he's able to get there very quick, but I really don't love having moderators myself, even who are under the age of 18. And then the other part of it is she has people in mind, really, before she even accepts applications. She does mod applications every once in a while. But if she doesn't have somebody in mind that she wants to be a mod, she may not even open up application, because she's usually hoping that somebody will ask by putting in an application to be a mod or volunteer for it. You know, I can't speak to every streamer's process, but I know, like, for example, Elfie, for him, I'm pretty sure he just contacted me. I didn't have to fill out any application. He just kind of said, hey, do you want to help with modding? And it, you know, that was just how it went. that's not to say if you haven't been contacted, you'd be a bad mod. It's usually he has a very specific purpose in mind for you. In my case, it was YouTube chat. YouTube chat especially. But now that purpose is probably past, in all honesty. I probably don't need to be a mod anymore. But I don't mind being fun. Okay. So I've messed up my grass a little bit, so I gotta fix it, but we've got a little something here. It at least shows that it was the Village and Pillage update, if there ever was one. Admiral, thank you for submitting your taxes, I appreciate it. She said, yeah, it kind of figured it, so now I feel less bad. I still feel bad for technically being fan-evading, but I feel less bad now that I've come clean. I have a lot of respect for you because you pulled your weight, and then some because all her mods are/were adults and they couldn't act it. For me, all the other mods would be booted. You'd stay. I will say, yes, to some degree that is a point. But also you gotta remember I'm the unemployed one. So like, of course I'm gonna be the guy that's there all the time. That all said though, I do agree to a certain extent. Moderators should probably be active to a point. They don't need to be there all the time. But if they're not there even, you know, every couple of months, you know, unless they're there for a specific purpose and that purpose is only there for a few months, like, oh, we need very specific advice, we need an advisor almost. That's a good point and a good purpose to have somebody there for. But there's also, you know, other points of like, oh, what about admins for servers? Like I'm an admin, or I was an admin. I don't think she has this server anymore. But for oh, her name just slipped my mind. I've talked to her recently. I talked to her yesterday. Athema. I'm an admin for her and her community. And she uses me a lot for that purpose of trying to help with her for very specific things, like doing her Minecraft. And I'm honored to help with that. I really am. Anyone that needs help with a Minecraft server, I like doing that stuff. Same thing with Alias. I don't really get to hang out in her streams as much as I used to. But I'm very helpful when it comes to setting up Minecraft servers or working on Discord stuff. That's what I'm primarily there for at this point, because I'm just not around streams as much as I used to be. With Kit in specific, I do try to be there for a lot more of it so that she doesn't have to put up with as much of that stuff. Because people are weird. That's the truth. And I don't know the first thing about being a woman on the internet, but I've lived a little bit of it through her eyes because I've moderated her streams. And you guys don't even know the half of the things that she gets sent purely because she's a woman streaming on YouTube. Like, it is awful there. YouTube is a nasty place. Gross. I even get some of it, but it's not nearly as bad as some of the things I've read in her chat. And it's why I'm there a lot, because I feel gross thinking about the things that are being put in her chat with nobody to clap back, especially. Just like, dude, no, you're not getting away with that. I'm gonna say a horrendous thing about your mom now. Like, I have a small taste of what it's like, and that's why I'm heavily present when I'm there. It's painfully obvious that I'm there usually. I'm very, very active, because it deters people from even saying anything. And if they do say something, I can usually ban them before they even are read out loud, or even before their comment is grazed by Kit, because they're just gross. And it doesn't bother her, but she shouldn't have to put up with that, you know? That's the thing. Ultimately, at the end of the day, yeah, they're just creeps. And they won't amount to anything. But it doesn't make it okay, and it doesn't mean that she should have to put up with it. That should not be the expectation of being a streamer in 2025. Like, I'm just not okay with it. Okay. I need to read chat. I'm sorry. Same for me. If you were there in the VC, yes, right. Yeah, that's pretty much how that all goes down for most streamers, in all honesty. They already have somebody in mind that they would really like to be a mod, and then they bring them on. Usually through different methods. I've got people in mind that I wouldn't say no to having as a mod in terms of responsibility. They're really responsible. But I'm at the point right now where I just don't need mods. I can usually self-moderate okay. But if I were a girl on the internet, I would have probably 3 or 4 mods. I returned. I have found controversial info. Oh boy. I have both streams up, and I gotta say, Kit gives off a lot more chaotic vibes. Oh, she's definitely more chaotic. At the end of the day, that's our community, and I respect that. I know my place doesn't dictate it, but it's just my thoughts, not saying you ask for it. Fair enough. Being demanded, I must lurk. Thank you for the lurk, appreciate it. Again, according to my memory, to be fair, this is flawed memory, but my memory nonetheless is no one really stopped my crap except for you, as well as other people's crap. But I don't know, I prefer to. There's a little bit more there to the story. So, and I probably shouldn't really talk about it. But there were bigger fish to fry at the time. And so it was, with me being the newbie, I didn't mind diving in head first, and I built up a reputation around that. But yes, when I first got there, there was a lot of other things going on. And I can say with certainty that's probably why a lot of your stuff went on as long as it did, and why a lot of other people's stuff went on as long as it did. There were other things in the background that I'm not authorized to just spout on about. Not that she, like, has a gag order on any of that stuff. It's just I think she'd probably prefer to not have me going around talking about a bunch of that stuff. And also, quite frankly, it probably does us no good to talk about. And if I do talk about it, then I might misrepresent it, and that's a whole other issue. Run my community like Gus's, and that being I don't expect other people to do my dirty work, and I never will. I will say you were a mod for my streams, and host dies. What? I'm sorry. But that was only because I couldn't, and still couldn't give out VIPs to take that how you will. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I can only imagine. Yeah. YouTube has always been unhinged even back in 2000. Oh, absolutely. It definitely has. I do understand why she has always kept her DMs closed, and I'm pretty sure she still does. I agree. That's why I never really gave her a hard time about DMV closed. Oh, DM closed. Because I've definitely given other people hard times about it. I definitely get it because I've gotten a lot of DMs over time. I do close my DMs as well. I would like to have them open, but the amount of people that message me just out of the blue asking me to buy their art, a lot of those. I get that. I've got people asking me to play games with them, which I would love to play games with everybody. I really would, but there's not enough time in the day. I've got people who want to message me stupid stuff. I've gotten so many stupid messages. I could read you one right now. Let me go find it. Here it is. Oh, they were also messaging me random questions about King SMP instead of sending it in the Discord to say, hey, I'm doing this, or I need help with this because it's broken and on King SMP, and it's like I need actual solid. I need that to be where everybody else can help, because I don't love being the one support ticket. But random messages like the baby, I can only take so much the baby. When are you playing on the SMP again? What's the SMP seed? These are all things you could ask in the Discord. Why do you have to send me DMs? Can you help me with this? This is a scam. Do you want to do a collab? I would really love to do collabs with everybody, but it needs to make sense for the both of us. That's the other thing. There's a lot of reasons why I closed my DMs. So, yeah. More times about it, I'm not responsible. I will say that's why I have so much respect for you. It's because you don't stray away from a lot of things, but you also understand that it may not be best to talk about certain things, or that you may not represent it properly, and for that reason, you don't stray away for it. I respect that. I appreciate it. Thank you. I try to be as respectful as I can be to everyone. So if that line starts to blur a little bit where I feel like I probably shouldn't talk about that on my stream, then I usually just go outright and say that, because I don't want people to... I'm not wanting to use my freedoms to hurt anyone, and I know sometimes it can hurt people with what I say. So I try to do my best on that. Is this why you closed your DMs, or did you reopen them and this started happening? I kept them open for the longest time because I felt bad about the idea of closing them, but I was talking to Kit one day, and she was like, why don't you close them? I was like, because I would feel bad. And she's like, I close mine and people will contact me other ways. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. And honestly, I've been a much happier person with my DMs closed. Like, I love talking to everybody as much as I can. But half the stuff I get sent can just be sent in a general Discord message, and you can at me if you really want to. But, more often than not, I'm finding that I'm a generally happier person. Just not getting messaged all the time by randoms. I can actually focus down on my friendships a lot more because I'm not being bombarded with 30 messages a day from, probably 7 different people. I've narrowed that down to like 30 messages a day from 2 or 3 different people. And that feels much better. I've gotten a lot closer with some of these people because of that, and it's been nice. Because I'm not overwhelmed. That's the other thing. I leave messages there sometimes because I'm getting overwhelmed, and I get overwhelmed still. Like, I've got 3 DMs sitting in there right now, but I'll probably respond to them after stream. Having a mod that is active and to behave in chat normally is very nice. Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you ever reply to them? The baby? No. Absolutely not. I just leave those be. Like, I will not reply to somebody if you're sending me nonsense. Now, if you're sending me, like, actually funny memes, or if you send me different things, I usually will at least react to it and put, like, a little laughing emoji or something. But I will not reply to somebody that's just being nonsensical in my DMs all day. You're misusing your freedoms. Like, the ability to speak does not make you intelligent. That's my favorite quote from, or one of my favorite quotes from Star Wars. And, it's very true. It's very, very true. Love the random DMs you can get on Discord. That's why I have mine locked down also. Absolutely. I respect it. This is why I have mine locked down also. I'd be hired to do that too, not gonna lie. Can I slide into your DMs and send you random unimportant stuff? Absolutely, yeah, why not? I will say it's been really nice because the people who want to collab with me has went down dramatically. And it's actually not gone down anymore. It's more so it stayed the same. The people who genuinely want to collab with you will go through the steps it takes to collab with you. The people who just want you for views, they want an easy way to get a hold of you. So they're just going to send you a DM and be done. If you want to get a hold of me, you're going to go send me an email. You're going to DM me on a platform and wait for me to respond to it because we don't... you're in my spam folder and I don't check my social medias ever. You're going to go through one of my mutual friends, or you're going to send a ticket on Discord. And you will ask me probably, hey, how do I get a hold of you? I need to get a hold of you. I'll tell you. Join my Discord, submit a ticket. Like, sorry, but I've reached a point in my life where I've realized not every opportunity is worth pursuing. Now, every opportunity is worth hearing out, but if you're not willing to put in the effort to prove that I need to hear you out, I'm not gonna make it easy to hear you out. It's actually really easy. It's one more button than the last. You just you join my Discord instead of tapping on me, and you scroll down and you make a ticket, and then you type your message. Like, that's all you have to do. Most people can do that, I think. If you can't, then I will stand corrected, but you can email me. I do want to collab with people in the future, especially like next year. I wanted to do it this year, but then a whole bunch of crap happened at the beginning and that kind of fell through. But there will be collabs at some point. I just gotta find the ones that make the most sense, I would say. I've got a couple of ideas cooking right now. Did you ever hear that song I DM'd you on the Bluebird website, by the way? I'm so sorry. I've not been on Twitter very much. I checked it yesterday, and I saw that there's a whole bunch of TwitchCon drama. And I was like, oh, let's read up on this. And then I felt gross, and I left the site. One thing I really do miss, though, is being able to ask you a question just out of the blue, but I also feel like you do deserve to be happy, not get the crappy messages. Your messages weren't bad. However, there was a guy who used to message me a lot, and that's partially also why I turned off messages. He was a friend of mine, so he would have been able to do it now under our current rules. But I would get a lot of messages, and I feel bad. This is gonna be like one of those, it's so hard to be a streamer, guys. But I am not a mental health professional. I'm not BetterHelp. I'm not your therapist. And it's heavy. You get a lot of messages like that when your DMs are open. And a lot of people don't realize that it's coming off that way. But I you know, when somebody tells you that your streams saved their life, like that's probably the highest accomplishment you could have as a content creator is that you've made such a difference in somebody's life that they said, this is worth it still. But it's a very heavy feeling because you suddenly have that pressure, that unknown pressure behind every single one of your streams that you need to perform. You need to make your streams as good as they can be, and you can't dare miss a stream day because what if that's the difference? And you can't think like that. You just can't. But you can't choose not to think like that either. Your brain won't let you, or at least it won't let me. And I'd get a lot of messages, not just like that, but I got a few like that, and then I've gotten other messages saying like, hey, can we talk? You know, I'm feeling really down, and you can't be there for them. And that weighs on you because you're suddenly it feels like you're being the bad guy. You can't be there for them because of insert reasons here. But if I was trying to be there for every single person who sent me that message, there would be no streams, there would be no videos, there would be no Omnia, there would be no me spending time with my family, there'd be no time for me and my friends. Like, it doesn't make me a bad person. I realize that. But part of me does feel like it is. And I know you guys are going to say, you're not a bad person for that. Like, I get it. I get it. But if you guys need somebody to talk to, there are plenty of resources online. There's also plenty of much more qualified people to talk to about those sorts of things. But I do want you guys to go get help. So don't think that you can't talk to people. Just don't talk to me. Oh, jeez, I'm sorry, guys. I used to have an anime girl PFP on Discord. I recommend not doing that if you have DMs open. Oh, I bet. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. I can imagine what that would be like. To be honest, I've been trying to fight to collab, but my fight and my desire to play games or write music is so dead, I don't know. My flame is gone, and that's why it died down. Can't. That's fair. Could email you. That's true. You could email me. Was the TwitchCon drama because Wesley looked like he was chilling? Most people were chilling. There were a lot of IRL streamers who were being obnoxious there. That was part of it, but the big one was there was no accessibility for the Minecraft segments. So to get Good Times with Scar up on stage was a process because he is a wheelchair-bound person. You know, like, and it's not just like, it's a very light thing. Like, he's got oxygen and all of his supplies are with him usually in that chair, plus him and the chair. Like, that is a whole process if they have to lift him and the chair up. They could do it, but it's kind of awkward, and I don't know. It would be weird. But his team was a stacked team for MCC this year. By all means, they should have accounted on them winning. And they did. Scar's team won. And they couldn't actually get up on the mini platform that the winners usually stand on. They had to stand on the... it was still up above the audience, but it was, you know, really easy. It was their easier access. They didn't have a way to get them up there. So there's been that problem. They've had problems with accessibility for years. Absolutely. I don't think that's Twitch's fault, actually. I believe that to be the venue's fault. A lot of times, venues have contract with certain companies. So for stage rentals, it's very possible that the stage rental doesn't provide accessibility options, and Twitch has to go through. That being said, Twitch could put pressure on the venue to put pressure onto the contracted stage company, and they could probably get that fixed. I don't know. But they should have been able to make sure that would work or provide strong enough people to hoist Scar up onto that platform, because if you got like 2 or 3 strong people, you could have done it. I mean, you don't even have to be strong, just 2 or 3 to balance it enough, and you're fine. You don't want him to fall out of the chair, and you don't want to tip the chair over so that he's on his side. You just need to get him up. It wouldn't have been hard. That may have been on Twitch, that may have been on Nox Crew, that may have been on the venue. I don't know. But there was another issue outside of that, and this is a more touchy issue, so I gotta be careful how I phrased it. There was I don't want to call him a fan, because he's not a fan. He didn't have her best interests in mind. There was a viewer of a streamer there, and she was doing a meet and greet, and he hopped the queue and wrapped his arms around her and kissed her. She obviously was not okay with this, and Twitch apparently didn't allow her to have her own preferred security team with her. I don't believe that would have changed the results. However, that is an awful thing to have happened. Twitch did not respond very well either. Their first response was kicking him out of the venue, which is good, but they like banned him for what, 30 days off the platform? Like, okay, that's not very good, Twitch. Why would you only ban him for 30 days? Obviously, a ban does nothing on Twitch, but like, that wasn't good enough. So then people complained, and Twitch, of course, obliged and perm banned him on the platform. And I think that extended to being banned at TwitchCon as well, but being banned from an event is kind of hard when it's tied to your username and he could just make a new username. I don't know 100% how that is going to work out, but Twitch didn't do a good job taking care of her afterwards. That's a big problem. Now, there was a person there, and they did take care of the issue in the fact that once they saw that happening, they shoved him away. And he stood between the two of them. But it was, not great. That's the short version of that. I want to make sure I'm all read up on you guys. That's fair. I feel like the worst message I ever sent you was me asking if I could call. I have no idea what you're referring to there, Spicy, but maybe. I don't remember that. Are you referring to a stand? Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Been there for sure, Reg. Doesn't make you a bad person, but it's always hard to shake the feeling for sure. Absolutely. Feel like we've gone through similar things, but through different outlets, especially locally. People have told me, dude, your music helped me get through that That puts a lot of pressure. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a song, I know NF isn't the most well-loved person, but his song, what is it? Therapy Session, I think. It kind of touches on that issue, especially for me. I turned out for a second and tuned back into Scar mention. Yeah, Scar's great. We love Scar. It's stupid that they didn't make sure to fix it, or that those can add those needs help. Yeah, I think they really should have done a better job trying to be more accessible, but yeah, that was bad too. They banned her bodyguard. Kissing someone unwantedly is sexual assault here in the UK and much of Europe. I'm pretty sure it is here too, but I can't recall if that may have been a failure not on Twitch. I know they escorted him out, and I'm pretty sure they ID'd him. So they probably filed a report, if I had to guess. But I don't know that for certain. I don't. Banned for touching the guy that she needed guarding from, if I remember correctly. I don't know the full story there. I stopped after I watched the clip because I was kind of grossed out. I don't tolerate that stuff. If I ever have a friend that goes to TwitchCon and she's going by herself, I will probably volunteer to go with her, because there's just so much that can happen at that stuff. And it's not, at the end of the day, we need to remember it's not Twitch's fault that that guy did something. I am in no ways defending Twitch, but that guy should never have done that. Those people exist in the world, though. That is the sad reality. They would have done it at Comic-Con. They would have done it at TwitchCon. They would have done it at VidCon or Vid Summit or any other convention. The way Twitch handled it was wrong. That's the point. But if I can do anything at all to prevent something like that from happening, or at least be a deterrent, so that my friends are safe, I would do it in a heartbeat. Even just walking them from the hotel to the convention is something small you can do, because you're out late. Those conventions run at late hours, and if you're walking back by yourself because you got caught up talking to some people, and before you know it, it's midnight and you're staying at completely different ends of the town. You know, San Diego is a very sketchy place at night. It's a nice city. It's very well lit. But that doesn't mean much when you're in a city. You know, there's usually a heavier police presence when there's conventions in town, especially ones that have a lot more minors. But, you know, they can miss things. They can definitely miss things. And so, just to be there and know that if something were to happen, I at least can stop it. And being there in and of itself is a deterrent for other people, because it's a lot harder to take on two people. It is. I would feel a lot more comfortable doing that. I don't really particularly feel comfortable going myself either, because I've made a lot of enemies over time. There's a lot of people who don't like me. And I don't think I'm a straight up target, but I have been defamed before. And it didn't stick, thankfully. But it's very easy for that kind of stuff to escalate if your adversary chooses to dwell on it. Now, I think luckily most of mine have dropped it. I hope they don't think about me. I don't really like thinking about them ever. But, you know, if they caught wind that I was going to be there, would they try to confront me? Well, I'd like to have a friend there to prove that, you know, I very much said what I said and did what I did. You know, nobody's going to record a video and then edit it a certain way to make it look like, you know, I was being a bad guy, you know. Having a couple of witnesses there definitely helps. And so I just wouldn't like to go to those places by myself either. Let's see. I'd throw legal action. Not being able to have your own security is crazy, though, because if Twitch were to give everyone security, then it would be less security than if one person were just to hire their own. My understanding, I mean, I could look into it a little bit more. According to chat here, they're saying that she did have her own security guy with her, but he was thrown out of the event after he stopped the guy from being that close. My guess is that that's when they kicked him out. but not letting a security guy do his security job is a problem. And that, again, may not be on Twitch. I don't know. That might be on the venue. If it's not on the venue, it may be on... it may be even on the state. They may have certain rules about that, or the city. You know, I don't know. I'm very cautious about blaming right away because we don't have the full picture. Sometimes, you know, as somebody who's well involved in planning things, I have a little bit more info here than other people. My mom is on committees and such that help plan very, very large events for people all over the country. And so I get to know a little bit about this. When we rent a facility, they have very specific rules that we have to follow. It wouldn't be impossible to see that if there was ever a physical altercation that the event runners are well aware of, that they have to kick out people who are involved in that. That may be the way that is written. It's a stupid rule, but Twitch would have to abide by it. I don't know. I haven't seen the contracts. I don't think we can see the contracts. This was a similar issue back in TwitchCon when the streamer, she fell in the foam. She jumped into the foam pit, cannonballed into it, but it wasn't very deep and it wasn't padded correctly. And so she broke her back. And people were blaming Twitch, but it wasn't really Twitch's fault. Part of it was the venue, and the other part of it was the sponsors. I believe that was Intel and Lenovo that were running it, and they didn't, from my understanding, they sponsored it and didn't inspect it properly and have it set up correctly so that streamers would be safe. Now, I don't know that to be 100% true. That's just what I've read. But we gotta be careful who we blame, because it's not always Twitch's fault. It's not always anybody's fault either. Sometimes this is just the way it is. And that sucks. But that is sometimes the case. There's a lot of nuance there, and a lot of people hate to hear that because they like to hate. But there's a lot more nuance to everything than meets the eye. Thank you for Lurk, Spicy. Appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and read chat now, and we'll get back to building. Or we may wrap up stream, because I think I owe Gus a call soon. What in the world are you talking about, King? Every time I enter the stream, you know, we're always talking about something. On Wesley's stream, I don't fully remember. I was pretty sure there was a confrontation about to go on. Or what happened, I'm pretty sure one dude ran into another dude and one of them looked like they wanted to start something, but yes, San Diego's a sketch place. Yes, I saw that, yeah. That's okay, I think about you a lot. I hold you in a high regard, not as high as Gus, but I hold you in a high regard. It's okay, Gus is pretty cool. The only reason I hold Gus in a higher regard is he showed me a light path no one else is willing to show, for lack of better words. That's fair. Guarantee you, if it was the ThinkPad subdivision of the company, would have went well. ThinkPads are great. We love ThinkPads. Intel always deserves the hate. I'm not an Intel boy. I prefer AMD, but I respect it. If you like Intel, you know, they're great for different tasks or something like that. I never said bye, but I'm back. Welcome back, Coral. Welcome, welcome. King, stop ignoring chat. I'm not. I'm reading now. Go on your walk, Spicy. Thanks for hanging out. I'm actively missing words when I try to type, so I'll be off. Fair enough. Fair enough. I cast good night upon you. It's only 6 p.m., but thank you. Yeah, definitely get some sleep, though, okay? Definitely get some sleep. I appreciate you being here, though. Okay. We did not get very much done today. I may do some off-stream work. But we built like this. Like, that is something. We did build something, okay? I'll take it. I will take it. Okay, I say that's a win. Anything is better than nothing. Exactly. Exactly. I don't have insomnia. I just will my sleep away. It's okay. You know, you do what you gotta do. I wasn't gonna raid Kit today, but because she came up earlier, I feel like it's our due diligence to. But we raided her last week, or yeah, at the end of last week when she came back. So I don't usually like doing multiple raids at a time on somebody like that, but she kind of inadvertently kind of became a part of the day stream. So I feel like it's probably the appropriate thing. I'm gonna do this for both YouTube and Twitch. That's kind of also the benefit. She is also on YouTube, so I kind of get that redirect. So hop in the raid, get some free channel points, meet a cool streamer along the way. Appreciate all of you guys being here. It was a good day. I might be back tomorrow. We'll see. I can't promise that though, because I've got a doctor's appointment. I'm gonna be tired. So I'll see you guys again later. Bye bye, everybody.